welcome back to another video, guys. In today's episode, we are going to do a pretty basic overview of everything wrong with the new to me E39 M5 with 262,000 miles. I've owned this car for less than a week now. Driven it a few times just around the town. Apologize for any wind noise right now. It's been windy in Vegas for about a week straight, and I've been trying my best to put it off, but I want to get some videos out for you guys. So in the latest episode, which just a few days ago, was me originally purchasing this car. And again, we went over this car and pretty much just went into all the basics and pretty much just on the surface. But in this episode, I wanted to just do a raw, uncut version of everything wrong with this car. Of course, the first thing you are going to notice is the exterior condition. Of course, I'm gonna need a rear bumper. So this is destroyed and 1000% unsavable. So we're gonna need to get a new bumper, which is probably gonna be quite expensive unless I can find somebody secondhand selling one. I'm most likely gonna need a complete new door as well, as this is most likely not fixable. There's quite a few dents and dings. I just don't think it's worth saving, and all E39 doors are the same. So gonna need a new door. Most likely might need a new mirror, as usually once these are loose, they're kind of written off, and this one looks to be a replica the way that it's fitting. I'm not 100% sure, but most likely gonna need a new mirror. This is for sure gonna end up needing some body work. As you can see, there is some slight signing of rust, even though I'm not really sure. California car owned from dealership all the way up until now. It's in Vegas, so interesting. Might need a new fender. Probably not gonna be able to save that because it is right there on that body line. Also has another little dent right here. So I already have another fender, might as well just throw it in. It'll be easy to repaint it and throw it on. As far as the hood goes, in certain angles you can tell that it definitely has some dents and some dings. There was one that was very noticeable. There's one here that's very much dented, but there was another one that I saw at a certain angle and also made me question whether I needed a new hood or not. I can't even find it right now, but there is definitely some fair shares of dents and dings on this hood. So it's pretty easy to find base body panels for these cars. You can go to the junkyard or find somebody on Marketplace, offer up, selling and usually parting out whole 525s, 528s. So it'll be pretty easy to go ahead and get the hood, the fender, which I already have, and the door. And then the mirror will probably be the only expensive part, and the rear bumper. If I can get lucky, I can get a 540 M-Tech bumper and just use that diffuser. So we'll see what we can figure out. As far as the front bumper, it should be savable and good. I'm gonna replace these grills with some black ones. Of course, one thing that I don't even need to mention is the car's gonna need paint. I think I can get away with getting the front bumper, the hood, the roof, and the new panels. But as far as the rest of the car goes, these doors, the paint is literally perfect, and the quarters perfect. Everything else seems to be good. Might have to do the trunk just because it looks super scratched and a little hazy as well. So might have to do the top of the trunk, if not the whole trunk. I think, and please correct me if I'm wrong, Imola Red should be a pretty easy-ish color to match as long as I get somebody quality to do it. I haven't heard any real nightmares. I know it can be a little off and super noticeable, but I think if I have the right people do it, I think it should be okay to just kind of skip around the car. I don't really see the point of getting a whole entire repaint and paying thousands, but ultimately the car actually might need it. So this is all up in the air, and this is just what I'm thinking would be best. Looking at this passenger door, it looks to be pretty straight, but at the same time looks a little wavy when I look around in some other areas. So we might need to address that as well. Again, I apologize for the wind noise, and the camera seems to be a little on and off of focus, so I apologize for that as well if it was. As far as the rest of the exterior goes, it looks to be pretty savable. There's definitely gonna need some PDR, it's definitely gonna need some new panels, and it's 100,000% gonna need paint work. We'll see what we can do. I will speak to somebody professionally. I wanna do it myself, but at the same time, I really want this car to match. If anything does come out in a different shade, it's gonna be extremely hard to hide. You're gonna see the imperfections pretty much right away. I want this car to look good. As far as the rest of the exterior goes, that's pretty much all there is. The wheels definitely need to be refinished or just straight up replaced. There seems to be a ton of pitting around here and just disgusting on the inside. I don't know what they did, but they pretty much overly destroyed these. Not sure what the goal was or what they used on them, but they also used steel wool on the lips and they look terrible. So they're half polished. I'm just gonna probably go ahead and write those off. I have brand new Apexes that are the 74.1 millimeter bore made for these cars that I put on my other M5 for about 10 miles and ended up taking off. Might just put those ones on. The car has some cheap coilovers in the trunk. I might just throw those on for right now just to get the car a little bit looking better. It doesn't look ugly. Of course, it's not gonna open. Does the key work? Oh, it does. We got lucky. Here's my beautiful array of parts that came with the car. The original destroyed mirror, which I thought I could save, and so I realized there was a hole in it. I have 6 coilovers, 4 Rev 9, 2 rear BCs, destroyed headrest, empty box for a wheel bearing, and that's about it. So gonna need its fair share of maintenance. I definitely want to lower this car slightly. I don't want it slammed at all, but I do want to lower it just a little bit and get a little bit of a better stance. So let's hop into the interior and show you how much worse the car actually gets. So looking at the passenger seat, not bad. 100% seat twisted. It is so uncomfortable to sit in. You can definitely see where the leather is stretching and pulling away. It's just these Heritage seats wear so terribly that it's kind of inevitable. They're always pretty much junked and ripped apart. It's surprising if you see one even in good condition at low mileage. The dash is full leather, of course, and it is destroyed all around. It's going to be trash. The lower dash looks to be savable, but it's going to be extremely hard to even find an upper dash in full leather, and it will be extremely expensive to find one if I can. Probably just going to revert back to full vinyl and just probably keep the OEM leather center console, which looks to be pretty much savable, as the normal base package M5s come without the full leather. They all have leather center consoles, so it'll just be a basic package M5. So it also highly depends on if I can find an interior for this car. Someone did hit me up with a full black interior, but it had ripped seats and price was a little too high for me, especially being black interior that's ripped with messed up door panels. So if you have interior, please let me know. This car desperately needs it. That driver's seat is destroyed, so that's going to need to be replaced. Might end up having to do something aftermarket if I cannot find interior. This door should be locked unless it doesn't open. It opened the other day, so it doesn't open now, which it's all right. We're just going to add it to the list. I think the list is pretty much never ending on this car. It has 5% tint all around, which I'm not really a fan of. It's way too dark. These door handles are loose, so I'm gonna need to take the door panel off and adjust that. The rear door panels look to be okay. The actual leather seems to be pretty good. I think that he told me he replaced just the door panels. The front ones aren't the best, especially the drivers, but the rears look to be okay. For some reason the headrests are out. The center one is destroyed. The rear seats aren't terrible. They're soft, but the leather is very rough. It's pretty gross. These seats look so terrible no matter what, so I just want to get rid of them and throw all this stuff away. The steering wheel is destroyed. The cluster pixels are out. It doesn't even work when you press the button. The lower bezel works, but the top doesn't. You can just very slightly see it. 262,000 miles. Navigation has a little bit of a burn spot in it. The knobs are disgusting and corroded, but the sound system works. Everything actually functions. The speakers are good and it sounds decent for stock. For sure is not great, but sounds pretty good for what it is. The headliner is probably the only positive I can say, is that it's near perfect. I don't see any blemishes, any real faults. It's extremely soft to the touch, looks great. Can't complain. So it's the only thing in the car I can't complain. Shifter needs to be replaced. Trim is mismatched. Cubby is missing. Yeah, I don't even know what else to say. Let's get into mechanical, because I guess that's where the most positive note on the car is. Speaking about the shifter, because we're in here, it's gonna need all bushings. Especially going from third to fourth, you like have to pull it all the way over, and back, and it rips the shift boot out and it feels terrible. Fourth looks like you're in actually second, but you're not. That's fourth, all the way second, fourth. So it's pretty much the same thing, especially when driving. It's not a great feel. Pulling up on the shifter, there's extreme amount of play. So let's pop open the hood and go around here. Surprisingly, for being such high mileage, the car has a bunch of records, supposedly timing chain. Well, I say supposedly, still kind of don't trust it, but timing chain and guides were all done on record. I have these service records for it. It was like 5,000, 5,500, something like that. It has Dynon intakes, which were installed straight at the factory on the Carfax. That's really the only aftermarket thing, except for a muffler and a resonator delete. It looks like we have a little bit of a leaky valve cover, which is always expected and pretty much something that always needs on these cars, especially when you have one that wasn't recently done. Passenger is leaking, driver's is a little leaky. There's definitely something going on with power steering. Feels like it loses power steering for a few seconds and then it'll be perfectly good. You'll do like 5 U-turns, it'll be good, and then the 6th, for some reason it cuts out and then it'll be back on. So it's random and there's really no telling. So it's gonna need to be addressed and figured out. There is like 2 random little dents right here on the strut tower that hopefully can be PDR, just because it kind of bothers me. The headlights, for some reason, one high beam stays on at all times and the other one doesn't work. Not sure what's going on with there. This car looked like it had some wire gremlins that they fixed, or at least fixed the wiring from an aesthetic point, but it definitely obviously has something that's not right. As far as the car goes mechanically wise, in other words, it really doesn't have any issues, cross my fingers. It runs, it drives, has full power. Engine is pretty quiet. Let's go ahead and start it up for you guys and get you guys a little bit of an idea of how healthy the engine is. Make sure this thing's in neutral. It's kind of hard to even see. So as far as the pixels goes, here's what we're talking about. ABS, brake, and traction light are on. Brakes feel fine, but it seems to have the bad wheel bearing over on this side, which he included, but apparently that's the cause. I haven't even looked at it. I haven't researched it. I haven't done anything. So engine is very quiet for what it is. That is very quiet to the standard of these cars, especially being almost 300,000 miles. Surprisingly, I had one of these with 340,000 miles, and that was by far the quietest engine and the healthiest drivetrain I've ever had. My previous one had 192,000 miles, was way louder than that, but the car ran phenomenally. A lot of these cars are high mileage and run better. The highest mileage cars I've had ran the best, the lower, they were whatever. So exhaust sounds pretty good. It sounds great on acceleration, but decel just sounds like a rasp fest. So I'm most likely going to end up doing some aftermarket mufflers of some quality, probably leaving just the resonator deleted or maybe an X-pipe. But I don't want to go catless anymore. It stinks and I don't want to deal with the emissions problems. So overall, the car needs a ton of work, but it's Imola Red. So that's the only thing that's really going for the car. And that's the only reason why I am now the current owner, is because the car is Imola Red. I have a plethora of E39 M5 content on my channel. If you guys are new here, suspecting that this will be most people that don't know my channel or people that haven't watched the videos before. So I like doing these videos just to give a rough, raw, uncut video on everything wrong with this car, and that way you can kind of use this as a basis of what's expected to come, what needs to be done, and where the car is going to go in the future. It's good to look back on these videos, especially after fixing some stuff up. Hopefully this car is the one. I really want to actually get this car right, do somewhat of a makeover on this car, and get this car in pretty much perfect condition, which is extremely far off from. Might take 5 or 10 years, might take me my lifetime, or I might sell it tomorrow. I don't know. Nah, I'm not gonna sell it that fast. The only way I'm getting rid of this one is if another one pops up for sale that's Imola on Imola and is in my price range, which right now is not much because I am broke. So most likely I'm stuck with this car, and you guys are too. So like, comment, and subscribe. We have a extreme amount of content coming with this car and the E46 M3s. Yesterday I did a full like 8 hours of maintenance on the F80. Didn't even record because I just wanted to wrench and get the work done. Took 8 hours without recording. It would have took me 16 while recording. So that's about it for this car. I know it was just raw, uncut, but this is what's wrong with the car and this is what's needed. Tire looks like it's going flat. Nice. We're gonna get the car right, guys, and we're gonna go more into it. As far as the drivetrain goes, I would love to get this car up in the air, but my garage is full and I don't have access to a lift. Hopefully in the future we can put this car on a lift, and we'll go a little bit more in depth on what's under the car, see what it 1000% needs from a leaking and fluid standpoint, which is most likely going to be everything, and then we will go from there. So like, comment, and subscribe, guys. We will be back with a ton of content for this car, and we will get this thing right. Later, guys.